PEEC, 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 PEEC. Pocono Environmental Education Center. There's so much to do, all you have to do is enter.
PEEC offers a variety of environmental education opportunities. Many of our visitors come in the form of school groups that are doing overnight field trips with us, but we also offer other educational programs for the public through our public weekend programs. We also offer in the wintertime many different forms of outreaches where we go to local schools or we can come virtually into the classroom. We also offer summer camp programming for a variety of ages, usually starting as young as 3 and 5 with an adult, going up to about age 14, and by 14 to 17 they're volunteering as junior counselors with us.
We are situated in the Delaware Water Gap National Recreation Area, which is a 77,000 acre park that borders the Delaware River on either side of New Jersey and Pennsylvania. And so while our immediate campus, again, 38 acres, several hundred with the trails, when you incorporate the fact that we are able to utilize the park as a resource and a teaching tool as well, it is obviously significantly larger. We see anywhere from 25 to 30,000 annual visitors. Prior to being the Pocono Environmental Education Center, this was Honeymoon Haven.
Honeymoon Haven closed in the 60s. It was all a result of the Tox Island Dam project, which was supposed to dam up the Delaware River at Tox Island and provide a reservoir hydroelectric power. The federal government bought up all the land for 30 plus miles on either side of the river. And they raised most of the buildings, but we're at about 900 feet above sea level. We were above the floodplain, and so these buildings were what remained. The Honeymoon Resort, the Park Service had no use for, but there was no need to destroy them. A group got together and worked with the Park Service to create the Pocono Environmental Education Center as a place for residential environmental education.
1972 was the year that PEEC was founded, and everything here on the property is either the existing structure from when it was that facility, or we've renovated and gutted it in some way, shape, or form.
We have a variety of different cabins here available at PEEC. Many of them are actually on the footprint of the old Honeymoon Haven cabins, in the fact that they have since been, updated and renovated and turned into bunkhouses.
We've knocked down some of the old structures, built them back up to have all your basic amenities, heat, hot water, electricity, so that you can experience the outdoors without really missing the comfort of home. The building we're actually situated in is the original building. You can still see some of the heart-shaped mirrors on the wall, the old pink marble fireplace.
We have 3 1,000 square foot classrooms that were originally linked together and were an old bowling alley.
The Bat and Beaver Lodge is the big highlight of the ecozone. In about the mid-2000s, we realized that the last functioning swimming pool here was at the point where we could not repair it efficiently. So we got really creative in the fact that we created a crawl into space of the Beaver Lodge and the Bat Cave. We have a thriving beaver population here at our 2 ponds on PEEC, so we ended up taking a lot of those beaver chews and created our own human-sized Beaver Lodge, which we use to teach about the ecology of beavers, their lifestyle, the unique adaptations, and so the kids can really get down and immerse themselves. The other side of the pool is actually the Bat Cave. So we created a crawl-through tunnel, and the kids will come down and be able to view what a solutionary cave would be like when the water is eroding and wearing away the various minerals, and then creating these cave formations.
I'd like to come back to this room, to the ecozone, to see all the animals. Our children get very excited to be in here, and it's really fun to have them lead us around.
Another favorite thing is muck raking. It's cool to see all the creatures in the ponds and stuff.
I definitely want to go mud breaking again.
I want to say that one of my highlights for whenever we had the opportunity to come over to PEEC is definitely the nature trails. My favorites include Tumbling Waters and Scenic Gorge.
This PEEC system here looks at the whole picture as far as the environment, climate change, animals, birds, the whole situation, pure water, air, and all that, and bring it all together. So it's a great educational area where you could get everything together. You could look at specific areas, but then you could look at the whole system and how it all works and interdepends on itself.
I remember my first trip here to PEEC, we learned about our ecological footprint and how important it is to leave no trace, and how much of an impact that we have on the environment.
I would describe it to my friends as a great place just to spend time in nature and learn about it while having fun at the same time.
A family-oriented camp. And I say that because every single time I've come here, I've met someone new, I've met campers. I still talk to the people I've met my first couple of years here.
There have been several hurricanes, then most recently it was Quinn and Riley were the winter storms, which we had 9 days without power. We couldn't actually get off the mountain, all the roads were closed. And we had about 1,000 trees that came down just across our trails. Probably 50 or 60 hit our buildings. And so that was a massive cost and a massive cleanup effort. But we got through that. The main thing for us, that storm came in March, and we were able to get our trails cleaned up by April when the big groups of students started coming here. So that it worked out well in the end, but it was pretty challenging. COVID has been just a real blow to us in terms of initially the National Park Service, who's our landlord, because of policies, the Park Service actually closed down our parking lot for a few months at the beginning of COVID, and then we've been open, but with many restrictions. We were trying to figure out how we could be useful to the community. And so I had a bunch of instructors on staff who we were paying. We had a dining hall that was a state-of-the-art kitchen. And so I was able to get a grant from the Greater Pike Community Foundation to bring in money so we could buy food, prepare meals, and then we have vans, we had staff, and we delivered those meals out into the community during the first several months, probably 4 months of COVID. The good outcome of COVID, and I guess I'm always looking at the bright side of these things, is we developed a whole online curriculum that we were able to deliver, and programming online that we were able to deliver, which we'd never really done before. Obviously no one had done that sort of thing, but the nice part is we're going to be able to use that in an innovative way going forward. We're going to use these online programs that we've created to go to those schools beforehand and prep the kids before they get here.
A lot of people assume that because we are on national park land, that we must receive some sort of state or federal funding. That is actually not the case. We receive no federal dollars, no state dollars. We are run about 70% off of income that we bring in from programs that we host here, whether it be our summer camps, the school groups that come in the spring and fall, Boy Scout groups, even conference and retreats, businesses that come here to get away to do team building or to just enjoy the center and the surrounding area. And then the other 25 to 30% is generous donations, whether that be from individuals during days of giving and fundraising, or whether that be through corporate sponsors or businesses that donate to us. And we really would not be able to function if it was not for the support of those individuals.
Happy birthday to PEEC, their founders, their families, all the volunteers and the supporters, and especially the visitors that come here.
It doesn't matter if you're young or old, you will take away a good time from PEEC, and you would learn something new each time.
It makes me feel great to be part of something that has such a long-standing history.
It's been a big impact in my life, so I really hope that it is more impactful on everyone else's life too.
Peek, 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 peeks for you and me. Peek!